Welcome to Your Club Sit Down. This is a series where we'll be talking to all the different clubs and committees here at the university. There are over 40 clubs available to students, and from not just the playing aspect, but the social aspect, it can bring so much to your student experience. With me today is Ollie Barnett and Jack Murphy. So, starting off, why do you play football with the university?
I just thought I started off thinking it was a great way to just get introduced to people. Because I think it is the biggest club in the university, so there's plenty of people there who probably have similar interests if they like the same sport. Obviously played the sport for years, so I just thought may as well give it a crack at the uni level.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good way to meet people, especially coming in as a person who didn't know anyone at the university, and that goes for everyone. It was a very good way to meet friends from the first week onwards, and made friends for the whole thing. And as he says, playing football my whole life, it was nice to just do something familiar.
So, before we get to your own individual roles in the club and stuff, you mentioned there that it's the biggest club in the university. So, how many people are actually playing with the football team? How many teams are there?
There's officially 5 teams this year, 4 teams playing in the Bucks League, 5 teams officially training. We probably had enough for 6 teams, so we had 140 students join up this year, which is the most the uni's had in the last 5 years.
The levels being seen, I'd imagine, with all the 5, they're all different. I mean, there's quite high, is there low? Is this all kind of similar?
No. There's you can obviously see the difference in levels. Everyone plays in different leagues, except for the second and thirds. They're the same league. But there's some players that play on even the 4th team that get moved straight up to the first, snap of the fingers, because they just may have turned up late, missed out on trials, so nobody really knows their ability level. But you can any level of experience or skill we accept really, because there's 2 sort of sides of it. There's the playing side, there's the social side. So even if you're not the best footballer, you can still come and have a laugh, if you enjoy playing it, and then you can meet people and, find friends and experience different things in the uni.
Yeah, so we'll be touching there on the social and the playing side in a little bit, but how long have the 2 of you been in university for?
Both for 4 years. Yeah, both 4 years.
And what are your roles with the clubs for football?
So this year I'm president of football, and
I'm the vice president and social secretary.
All right, so how did you get yourself as the president?
It came from, last year I was social sec for football, and kind of seen what went on within the committee as such last year. There was a few more presidents last year that kind of did it as more for people last year, but I've seen how everything worked and seen how it went on and thought there's probably changes that could be made. Yeah. So I got kind of speaking to the people who were doing it, and we kind of ran a little vote and stuff, and that's how I got into.
What is the role of the president? What do you do mostly?
It becomes a lot of things, but this year it's been mainly bringing in a lot of new students who didn't know a lot about football at uni. So a lot of the fresh students coming in. Yeah. Just kind of meeting and greeting them, making sure that they're comfortable with what we're doing, making sure they know when the training times are, how they can get in, how they get involved, meeting people, just making sure they're comfortable, really.
Yeah. And vice president and socials. As vice president, I never knew. I was researching the 2 of you, and I know that you're the president, and you just said on the Instagram page that you're the social sec, but I didn't know there was a vice president.
It kind of just evolved in it. It just kind of process of elimination.
So what is a social sec and a vice president do?
Yeah, teams are sacked, yeah. So
social sec?
Social sec runs all the social side of things. So if you've got any nights out, any do's that need planning, obviously you've got to organise all the themes. You've got to host people over to your house, and, set up things such as little events and stuff as you're going out, maybe even watching the footy and stuff like that. So you want to have anything on the social side of things that isn't football related, I'd sort out. And with the vice president thing, it's sort of just helping Ollie out with any things that, if we're doing charity events, or if we've got presentations, or even when we go to the Freshers' Fair, I'll be there helping Ollie with stuff like that as well.
So with the socials and stuff, you said that you were having at the house. We've had other clubs say that they also hosted at houses. Has there ever been a social sec that you know of in your 4 years that didn't have a house? Is that a big thing, or it just happens?
Not.
It comes with the role, really, doesn't it? You kind of it's not an expectancy, I guess, but it makes your life a lot easier as a social sec, because it just means you're under control of things. You know that this is what's going to go on, this is how the parades are going to happen, or whatever. This is how your theme's going to go. So
with the social aspect and stuff of the nights out and stuff, how has that been for the year that's just gone? I mean, for you especially when you've been hosting it as a social sec, how have you found that for the year as an experience?
It was good fun. It was good to try and introduce the new lads a bit more get them integrated into the group a bit more then, because we've had people in the past that were new and they were a bit shy and they kept to themselves for a couple of months before. So if you just welcome them in straight away off the bat and try and get them involved doing stuff, break them out of the comfort zone a bit. There's a you've got to plan a theme every Wednesday and you think it's all well and easy at the start, and then you realise that you run out of things to and then you start coming up with weird ideas. But it tests your creativity really.
So every Wednesday, do you play and do you have a social event?
Yeah, well, we play most Wednesdays.
It's been different this year, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then every Wednesday there's a social event minus the holidays and such. Yeah. But every single Wednesday, same places.
So before we get onto the photos, I just wanted you to kind of was there any standout moment this year? Like, how's the year been for you? Is there anything like in particular kind of like is like in your head of like the biggest highlight?
It's been a very successful year.
Yeah.
In terms of football.
How's it been successful? Like, what's been
not just with results. Like we kind of disregard the results this year. I mean, don't get me wrong, the second team unbelievable this year. Other teams not so good, but results-wise, compared to the last 4 years, haven't been amazing for most teams. So the second team, massive improvement, but the rest haven't been great. But then on the flip side of that, with outside of the football, our charity events have been absolutely huge this year. We've raised over £3,000, which is insane. As you say, the social events have been a massive success. I think we've integrated a lot more people that wouldn't normally have come on social events and stuff. But standout for me is probably race night.
Race night, yeah.
Massive charity race night, yeah.
Race night, yeah. So we're going to be getting onto all that in a while. But first, I'm just going to have the first photo for you to just talk through. And do you want to say what happened here? Like, what was this game?
So that's the Cameron Scarrett Trophy. So that's the charity game that we do with the police every year. It's an annual thing. We've got a partnership with Northumbria Police for this. But essentially, it's one of the police officers who died, unfortunately. It's a trophy that's in his name. And the uni play them every year. And it's a mixture. It was first and second team, a mixture of that team this year. But that raised over £1,800 just for that. There was a massive crowd there, and a lot of the uni lads came down to support and stuff. But it's just a big event all year, raffles and tombolas, and it's just a really good night.
What was the score in that game? Do you remember?
I think it was 4-2 or something.
Was it 4-5-1? I thought. Do you know?
I actually don't. I was actually genuinely. I think it was. We definitely won.
I could easily find it.
But so I know we won, but it's a great event. I never knew it raised that much money. And how long has that been going for? Do you know?
That's been going for the last 3 years.
I thought it was our first year.
Our first year, 4. Yeah, so 4 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. So the next photo we have is we talk about the social aspects of Sunderland and the clubs. Do you want to talk through this? What was this? This
was the Halloween Wednesday theme.
Yeah, and how did that happen? Like, why is there? Like, there's a lot of people there. So previous videos we've had with the social aspects, there wouldn't be as many as this photo. Like, this is a lot of people.
Organised chaos.
Yeah, we had a very big turnout for the Halloween. So to speak, it was dress up. It was dress up as anything you want, and then because it's just Halloween, there's no need to everyone to be dressed the same. But the house was
the variety of costumes on that photo is disgusting.
I'm trying to find, where are you guys? I can't see you.
I'm there.
Oh yes. And how did you actually find that as a social sec? I mean, like, this is your first year as a social sec, and how did you find hosting like a big event like this Halloween?
It was great fun. It was just. Didn't anticipate as many people turning up.
It was big. It was a lot of people.
They did, yeah. So, but it was a great night. That one of my favourite nights of the year. But as you say, we got a massive group of lads down, which just shows again how how big the social.
Well, I think what's good about that night as well was a lot of people came there's a lot of people there who don't drink, and as much as it is a drinking night out, a lot of people there don't drink and they still got involved, which just shows that everyone's a group mate.
And before we get on to the next photos, like there's obviously socials every week, and there's different themes. Like, so obviously this Halloween everyone dressed up as whatever they want, but other times people would have a coordinated theme. Like, do you want to talk through that a little bit?
Yeah. So we try our best to sort of have themes where everyone looks the same, because then I think it looks a bit better. You see, as the big collective. We have themes where we have people dressed up in different separate teams within one, but you can see the similarities between them. Where
different colours.
Exactly. And then we'd have everyone in teams doing different challenges and stuff like that. And then we try our best to try and get everyone in the same sort of costume, well, similar enough to.
It just makes football stand out a bit more, doesn't it?
It looks good.
do you ever have socials that are like joint with other clubs?
Yeah, we've had quite a few this year. We've joined with
4 or 5 times, haven't we?
Yeah, we've joined with women's football, women's rugby. We did that with netball as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I think it's nice to sort of integrate with the other societies because
That's something I haven't noticed over the last 4 years, actually.
Yeah.
That's only happened this year,
Yeah,
really.
exactly, yeah.
The societies mixing together.
Yeah, because I feel like the clubs and the social aspect of it brings so much to like the student experience that like everyone starts kind of integrating.
Which means everyone's friends.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like, other clubs have been on here with like their committees saying how on Wednesdays they would see other teams and other sports playing, and everyone would be like seeing each other going through their games. I mean, I'd imagine it'd be the same for you, obviously, but with all the different clubs, it could be a little bit different. But in a sense of like the social aspect, I mean, it's not just the clubs are like isolated. It feels like everyone kind of like talks to each other.
Yeah, no, definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
So the next photo we have is the two of you. So firstly, we've got this. What was that award for?
It was the
Special recognition, wasn't it? Special recognition award from the
charity,
Vice Chancellor.
And what was the special recognition for?
for the charity work that we did.
Specifically the netball tournament.
So there's a netball tournament that was referenced earlier, and we actually have a photo of it right now. And there is the football team playing. I mean, I don't think either of you are in that photo, but oh, is that? Yeah, Ollie's there. There's the manager James, and the netball girls when they were on the show, they said that they hosted it.
Shock.
No, we hosted it.
Said and there was a bit of confusion, and I was like, "What is the confusion?" They said because of Ollie Barnett. So, like, do you want to have anything to maybe reply with?
I think you'll butt this.
I
It comes
know
down
exactly
to
what
it comes down to the organisation of the event for me. There wasn't a bit of organisation done, but the idea was ours.
Yeah.
We went to sports office and said, right, we want to do this tournament. We want to do a netball tournament because every club can get involved. Everyone can catch a ball, essentially. If you do football, not everyone can play football.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone can catch a ball generally. So we want to do a tournament where people can get involved. Every club gets involved, so it'll be huge for the uni. So I went to the sports office and said this, and they were like, yeah, that's good. Let's get it planned. And obviously netball caught wind of it, and because it was their sport, they thought, yeah, it's our tournament. It's ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so all the organisation done was done by us. We set up the league table, we set up the Excel document that actually did it automatically for us, all the fixtures and stuff.
But how's the event as it's like, you know, as the event like in itself? Like, how was it? Was it good? Was it successful?
Wow.
Yeah, it was really
Really good. And we,
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
really good. And we got a good turnout for it. I mean, both the bleachers were full, so it was a good turnout. Obviously, netball fixed it, but
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no. Don't want to get into that.
I'll come back on and say something again. So next up, anyway, we have varsity, and we were talking about this year was quite successful because both the Teesware and the Clash of the Minsters were both won for the university. Here's the two of you with the trophy. How did you find that this year winning both? Like last year, we weren't so successful.
it's the first time in 8 years. No, first time since 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was not.
Yeah.
No, it was great. I think it was more than just a win, to be fair. It was an absolute walkover for both
Yeah, it
teams
was.
as well.
It was
It was.
And do you want to walk through a little bit about the costumes?
Not really.
Who decided on that?
That was me. The idea was to have. I was supposed to dress up as Caesar, and then everyone was supposed to be gladiators because that would have made a good photo.
Yeah.
But then ordered the Caesar costume, and it was not very good at all. It looked really bad. So I just thought I'll dress up as one as well. But no, I think that's probably the thing. We had most people dress up the exact same.
Yeah.
And I thought that looked pretty good because I don't know. It was just a bit different than just wearing a different coloured top or something like that.
So if you look at the varsity photos that are on the Facebook and stuff,
exactly. It's all-
we stand out
yeah,
because
it's-
everyone's
everyone's
in the
dressed
same
the
thing.
same,
There's 20, 30 lads in the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really good.
And like varsity, like there's if we can actually get a photo there in a second of how many people are actually there in terms of, like there's a massive turnout, and like this one now was a lot different. So last year varsity was not in Sunderland. This year it was in Sunderland. How did you find like the amount of people there? Like it felt like a bit of a sports day. I mean, like what was the event like? And like how did you find it?
I love a good varsity. To be fair, it's where it's a thing you don't really get to experience a lot on a normal Wednesday, where you get other teams from the uni supporting your match because most of the time people play at the exact same time. So yeah, it's nice to have and also be able to watch other games and have people watching yours and supporting them because it's just and you don't really get to do that unless you got a game off and you can go to City Space watch the netball or the futsal. But yeah, you get a good crowd around and it gives a bit more team
It
spirit.
was our first varsity at the senior, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've always done with
Away.
COVID hitting and stuff. We never did a home varsity over the 4 years,
really?
so that was our first. So we didn't really know how it would work.
No.
But it did in the end. I mean, normally when we go down to York, we stay there and go out in York and then come back on the night. But the York and Teesside both didn't do it. They both went straight home, so we were a bit unsure how the atmosphere would be. But it was probably better actually because there was just more Sunderland people there, and it was it was a good day.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, like when if you were to try and like describe varsity to someone who might not know about it, and if they were going to come to university, like if you were to try and like briefly describe it, like what is it? Do you feel to kind of show someone that might not be well aware?
Just an enjoyable whole uni event. Like there's not really much words for it.
It's just a lot of sports. Really.
Yeah, it's what it is. And if you enjoy it, just being with your mates and that, it's a good thing because even if you don't play the sport, go watch and everyone's just there.
So you referenced earlier race night. So this is the poster you had for it, and that was your official charity event because there was the netball event that and then this event. This was the standout one. How much money was raised for this?
£510.
Wow. So walk us through like how that was like started, like how you arranged it, like what was the theme? Like I mean, I imagine everyone just dressed up as like going to the races.
That's essentially what
that
we
was-
said. That was the text that went out to everyone, and on the post it said this. It was as if you're going to the races, suit and tie or shirt and tie at least. And everyone stuck by it, to be fair. And girls were in like kind of race day dresses. And it was the planning. We kind of just said we have to do a charity event, didn't we?
Yeah,
At first.
because we needed one for that month.
We needed one for that. We try to do a charity event every month. That was the aim of this year. I think we stuck to it.
We did.
Yeah. But we basically said we need one. We need a big one because we hadn't done a very big event so far. So, and then we just came up with this, and it was a good way to do a social. Made that part easy.
Exactly.
And it was an easy theme, and then it all just came together really well. To be honest, it worked. But it was very last minute.
Oh, very, very last minute.
People were arriving as we were still setting up. But it was good. It worked really well.
So coming towards the end, we've got one more photo, and this was only a few weeks ago now. The sports ball. This shows a lot of the people who are all in the football team. How did you find sports ball this year, being like a team that was, like you said, quite successful for the season?
I'm probably favourite sports ball to date. It was really enjoyable. It was great to see all the lads dress up smart for once. Got a bit of silverware, which
Definitely
didn't
for
hurt at
once,
all.
like.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I like about this photo because everyone's there's 5 teams there. There's not obviously we could have had a lot more people there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of students that couldn't make it or whatever or didn't want to go. But in that photo, it's not just first, second team or first team or second team or third team by themselves. It's all the teams together, which I think.
Do you feel like with all like the 40s, I know obviously the 2 weeks ago, but social sec and like the president, you'd have to know nearly around everyone. Like you'd have to know a lot of people, but like there's so many people in Sunderland in the clubs of the 5 teams. Do you feel like everyone kind of like is like initiated like, together, like everyone knows everyone on all the teams?
Yeah, 100%. I think you just get that sort of sense of just the training because you got the training, people of whichever team you train with, and then whichever team's training next year, and then even when the other teams come in after you, they're all there just standing, just chatting.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a click. I guess there's a lot, and the clicks aren't bad. Like sometimes you don't want clicks in football teams, but everyone's got a click at least, and that's what football provided. To be honest, a group of friends.
Brilliant. So that's been great. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day. We're going to be just like before we have you leave, if you were to give one sentence to sum up football and the social aspect they might bring to university, what would it be?
I'd say it's the best and easiest way to meet new people and make friends at university.
Yes. It's a sentence is hard to sum it up actually, but
I don't want to go limit it to like 3 words. If like one sentence is kind of like sum up like what football is with the University of Sunderland, if you could try and...
a massive group of mates who have fun together but also play seriously.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. You can find all of the episodes on all of the University of Sunderland's social media platforms.